Hello everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. In today's video, we're going to talk about I forgot the name. Oh, how to deal with the collective. And I want to talk to you about this because sometimes as an empathic people, it's hard to deal with the current collective currents, but we are that collective. We are always connected to each other and everything, including animals, plants, microbiology, and all that it is. We are Gaia. Gaia is all of us. And Gaia sends feedback to Source from what she wants and thinks she should experience. Gaia is one of the most sentient beings from all that it is. And that collective, it's my mirror for me to know how I am vibrating against or in favor of the collective. If I think Gaia it is suffering, Gaia it's not suffering. I am suffering from what I am seeing for the collective. If I think Gaia is beautiful, I am so happy to be here. It is because this is the mirror effect that I have from that collective. But the collective, it's all of us. I would not say that I like or I agree always with the things I see in the collective, but the collective send a signal. We all send a signal about we're feeling, we are experiencing, and then we send a signal to Gaia, and then Gaia decides what rules are going to apply. Like for example, let's do COVID, let's do quarantine, let's do hurricanes, or let's manifest a war or anything from all the feedback that we are sending. Because Gaia, it's all of us. And as our mother, she looks for the well-being and welfare of all of us as one. And then Source receive that feedback and then decide to create other different universe and worlds according to whatever information we are sending. So all this information goes through feeling. Feeling it is a portal that connects instantly to Source, whether that feeling it is from the shadow or whether that feeling it is from the light. So whatever we feel is what we heal, what we are experiencing from the whole that represents, in this case, Gaia or that collective. First of all, I am going to be like this. Our chakras, and I'm going to explain this in another video, are not like here. Chakras are like this. Because if I am in Walmart and someone push me in the shoulder, I may feel unsafe. And I don't feel that in my root. I feel that all over my body. So my chakras are going to be like this. Because they are perceptions of the feelings about the energy that's being sent to me and the energy that I am sending to others. And then we do have collective agreements, whether we like it or not. And one agreement that we all have right now, it's COVID. For whatever reasons, we all manifested COVID, coronavirus, because we thought it was going to be for the highest good, otherwise we would not have manifested. When we rejected an aspect of the collective, it's like rejecting an aspect of ourselves, because we are the collective. A collective that is splits in many aspects and many levels, expressing that we could be everything, and everything that we see that we may envy, because probably we all envy once in a while, it is something that I can do as well. Because if that person it is doing it, it should be easy for me to do it because we are all one. Now, every time we ground into Gaia, let's say that this is me. Every time I ground into Gaia, for all the things that I am learning, I am helping the collective just by grounding. When my feedback is positive, because all the things that I am learning, people that ground as well, or people that Gaia decides to send that information, or the reality that she decides to create, it's created from the feedback that I send, whether the feedback it is positive or negative. And probably the negative feedback, it is only the information that goes from source, or for the universe, or for Gaia, or for my soul, whatever you want to call it, that it's just letting me know that it's not my path. That my path change, and I should go into another direction. Negative energy, it only helps us to be aware about where we can improve our experience, where we can change direction, and learn and acknowledge something else that may be more pleasant and comfortable for us as an entity, as a sentient being, as a soul. And positive energy, it is what we are doing right, what feels good, what we like, what we prefer. We do have preferences and dislikes as a spirit, as an entity, and those things are not separated from us, are part of our own experience. And all of those perceptions are codes. New Earth, it's not a place that we're going to shift in 5 years or 3 years or 20, whatever people says. It is a perception, and it is a perception of love that we are gradually moving into. Every time we meditate, every time we ground, every time we feel fun. If I feel challenged because I am in my negative polarity, but if I ground into Gaia, I share my burden with Gaia, and then she balances it so she can create new collective currents and agreements for all of us. And all that feedback, it is aligned with the planets and all the cosmic things that happen in the universe. That's why we use astrology. Astrology, it is a codex to read the plans, the destination for all of us as a collective. We all make that Saturn and Mars collide and how go retrograde or whatever. It is the posting. We live in the stars for all of us to know where to go and change direction. It's like a guiding system that remind us, but we don't have to use astrology. We could use our own intuition. For example, I dream things. You can use your gut. You can use your therapist, your family, your friends, whoever source or way you can get to get your own information. So how we balance into the current on the collective? Through love. It's all through love, because it's the collective. Let's say I'm gonna talk about a very sensitive theme. If the collective is working about sexual abuse, that is a very delicate theme for many, and it could be a trigger, and it could be a cause of lots of things. Probably what I can do, it is on my hand, heal all the lives and the feelings and the moments that I have had any sexual distortion, whether in this life or in any other, for myself or my family or my lineage. And probably I could do through a meditation or through intention or through a code. There are going to be collective codes, and this is the ones that we're going to use into the collective scene. Probably, this is just an example. I may not needed to go through COVID, but my scenario needed. So I'm going with all of us. Let's say that someone could say, I didn't manifest that rain, but probably from 1,000 people in your city, they have manifested for whatever reason. So always, always, what is going to win? It is that what works for all, because we are all. And that's why sometimes we can manifest things. Because let's say that I said, I want to manifest to move to Hawaii. But probably I'm not going to be helpful living in Hawaii than living in Mexico. Probably I will create fights with my ex or the kids or the school or whatever. So probably the universe will say, no, you are not allowed to move to Hawaii, Gretel, because it's not for the highest good of all of us. Because probably you're going to be very happy swimming with the dolphins. But it's not what we require from you, and it's not what probably I require that I don't know yet. So how do we work with the collective? First of all, everything we desire must works for the collective. So whatever work we need to do, whatever desire we like to manifest, we should always ask that in the highest way and in the best way for all. So let's say that if I would like to move, probably I should ask, I would like to move into whatever place serves me the most, that serves everyone else. And this is how things get manifested or get accomplished, because Gaia comes to support. Probably I would like to manifest disclosure, that we have aliens among us and that we can be friends and live happily ever after. But probably Gaia said, hey Gretel, we only have 144,000 light workers. What about the rest? The rest are not yet. The rest are not there yet. They don't even include people with different color of the skin. How they're going to be able to accept aliens or something. So it's not manifested yet until the majority agrees that is the highest good for all. When someone transitioned, when someone died because their collective says, we don't need you anymore, dude, you can go into heaven. We relieve you from your goal and lesson and path, so you are ready to go. No one dies unless their collective agrees, because it's not needed anymore in this plane. So it can move forward into whatever plane decides, or just go to source. So there are greater plans, and there are greater things happening that is hard for us to understand them, because we're not meant to understand them. There are some codes that we are not meant to understand. We just have to know it's all for the highest good. And when we accept fully and surrender, the burden is just relief, and then it's easier. I struggle a little bit to surrender. I'm gonna be honest, because I'm very stubborn. And then when I disagree with something that is happening in my life, I said, okay, I'm gonna take my time so I can agree honestly, because it's not about faking it. It's about being really okay with it. And if, for example, I need to forgive, let's say that because someone asked me, how I'm easily to forgive myself and people, but how I can forgive someone who tried to abuse me when I was 15, because that memory changes everything in my life. I just can't. Then that will be a place for us not to start with our healing or changing our new codex, because it will be hard. It's best to start with things don't create that huge resistance. Like, for example, healing someone who stole your parking lot, or who did not want to sell you ice cream, or little things that can be easily forgiven and transmuted. And then, one way or another, the things that were not there yet become less hard, or they will be transmuted one way or another, whether I transmute them or someone else. So don't get entangled with the things from the collective that you cannot fix, because probably they are not meant to be yet, because we are still learning from it. But it will happen whatever, in the degree that we allow the shadow and the distortion to speak, and the more we do that, the more we understand the whys. And when we understand the whys, it's easily to heal, to transmute, and to release. And then probably I would understand that that person tried to abuse me because it was abused too, or because it was educated like that, or because things in their story that I don't know. But when I know those things, I'm sure things will make sense. I'm not gonna justify that abuse or distortions must happen for us to grow, because I don't think we need to suffer or to go to trauma in order for us to evolve. Sometimes it's the only way, that's why we manifest it. But we should not have to go through those things, and it should not happen. That's why we are here doing healing, learning, and doing all things we need to do. Now, another thing I wanted to explain from codes, I'm going to try to use this part. Whatever code you would like to see in you, add that works for the collective, for Gaia, and that works for the universe. So they all agree with the changes that you are doing. If you wanted to manifest a Ferrari, you must ground, so you tell Gaia that, hey girl, we're gonna be big, we're gonna have the car of our dreams, and then the universe must know, because all it is connected. So allow yourselves, first of all, to know if your codes are individual, if your codes are specific, if your codes are collective, and if your codes are, how do I say? I forgot the other. Individuals are codes that are going to be done in a session for something specific, only for, let's say, pain my knee. Some codes are not going to be shareable because they will be relieving some darkness within, like for example abuse or hate from my mom or something, whatever is happening. The collective ones are the ones that are key templates for everyone to use, and these are the ones that are shareable. But some others are going to come without a message, without a reason, because it's not meant to know. Because sometimes when we know what entity we channel, what collective, we put our ego in between. And some codes are just gonna be codes that they do not be too understood, but always use your intuition to know where you are. And sometimes we're going to be able to understand the bigger picture, sometimes we won't. Probably you will understand the whys later. Oh, now I understand why when I 5 nothing happened, why when I was 20 something happened, because we're going to be able to see the result. Sometimes we are so fortunate that we instantly know the whys, but sometimes it doesn't happen because that will intervene with the lesson. One thing you could do to correct your side of the collective is use the codes on you, so you strengthen your aura and your codex, so you are always okay with whatever it is, with whatever is meant to be, in whatever way, and in the highest way for yourself and for all that it is. And once again, always listen to your intuition, because all the things that I'm sharing, this is from my own experience, but I don't know it all. I keep learning, and maybe you will have a different direction, a different intuition. So always use whatever works for you in the way that works for you, because we all have different pacings and times. But when you listen to your intuition, to this video or any other video, each of you will have